So this is about variation, and we're going to be looking at variation within a species. So variation within a species is basically the differences between individuals within that species. So for instance, you've got brown eyes, you've got green eyes, you've got hazel eyes, you've got red eyes. That's variation within a species. And variation can be either due to either genetic characteristics or environmental characteristics. So let's look at genetic characteristics first. Genetic characteristics are acquired from my parents' DNA. So if I've got blonde hair because my mother's got blonde hair, that's a genetic characteristic. And if somebody else has got black hair because their parents have got black hair, that's a genetic characteristic, and that causes genetic variation. The other one is environmental characteristics. So that's something I acquire through my lifetime. So that scar on my lip there, I got that when I was 5, when I fell over. That's an environmental characteristic. It's not something I got through my DNA, it's something I acquired during my lifetime. So if I dyed my hair pink right now, that would be an environmental characteristic.
This graph here shows continuous variation. If a characteristic shows continuous variation and we measure a large enough number of individuals, when we plot the results we often get a graph with a particular shape. This shape is called a normal distribution curve or a bell-shaped curve. It shows that most individuals measure within the middle part of the range in variation, and there are fewer individuals with measurements at the extremes of the range. So here the average height of this group was between 150 and 154, and there were only a few people who had a height of 170 to 174, and only a few people who had a height of between 130 and 134. Characteristics that show continuous variation are often controlled by both your genes and the environment. So something like height or weight is affected by both the genes which you inherit from your parents, but also your environment, your diet. Discontinuous variation is variation where there are only a fixed number of options. So blood group, you are either A or you're B or you're AB or you're O. So there are only 4 options. With your sex, you are either only male or female. So there are 2 options. Discontinuous variation in characteristics is usually caused by the instructions within your cells and is called genetic variation. So discontinuous variation is normally caused just by your genes.